Hi, everybody. One of my favorite lessons that I teach in my live classes, and I've done this at every possible level that you can imagine, eighth grade, seventh grade, sixth grade, algebra, geometry, is the fact that you can use this five-step problem-solving process for almost any word problem that you're faced in almost any level of mathematics. And usually when I'm teaching this, I do a demo where I have an entire shelf full of books, and I'll let a student choose a book, choose a page at random, and we look at a problem and we follow this five-step problem-solving process on that problem. It always works. I've used it in engineering. In fact, the entire time that you're taking physics and engineering classes, you're going to be following these steps. You'll see them written out there: diagram, formula, substitute, simplify, solve. The best way to learn this is not to copy them down and then look them up every time, but to actually teach the process that I'm going to show you. I'm just going to give you two quick examples. I don't want to spend forever on this, so I'm going to do two quick examples of using this process. And first I'm going to read the question. It says the perimeter of a rectangle is 60 feet. The length of the rectangle is 6 less than double the width. Find the width, the length, and the area. Now, what a lot of students will do is they'll sit there and they'll stare at it and stare at it and stare at it and, pretend like one of my favorite is to go into the thinker pose. It doesn't solve itself. But what you can do is you can follow the 5 steps. If you remember the first step, think about it for a second. If you don't remember, look back one. And it is to draw a diagram. And you're probably might want to draw a rectangle. Now, this is going to be a really sad rectangle, so I'm just going to draw it freehand. So I just want a sketch of a rectangle. There's a rectangle. And I'm supposed to label it. Now, they gave me some more information here. They told me that the length. Now, in algebra, it is really easy to write the length very simply as L. Is, I call this a direct conversion. Is means equals. 6 less than double the width. Now, a lot of people get this backwards. Less than means reverse subtraction. Very important. In fact, when I write it as in algebraic terms, I always put little arrows on it to remind myself that you have to reverse the double the width and the 6 and do the subtraction in reverse order. If you don't do it in reverse order, you will get it wrong. Less than, fewer than, smaller than, colder than, lighter than, all of those things mean reverse subtraction. Double the width means 2W. And I now have an expression that describes the length, 2W minus 6. And I also have a width, and I have a perimeter is equal to, sorry, this P isn't very good, equals 60 feet. Now, my next step is to write a formula or an algebraic model. In this particular case, I'm going to use the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle. The perimeter of a rectangle is add up all the sides. There are 2 lengths and 2 widths, and a common perimeter formula is perimeter is 2 lengths plus 2 widths. Now I've done a diagram and I've labeled it. I've written a formula. Can you remember what the next step is? Hopefully you remembered. It's substitute inside parentheses. So I'm going to substitute for the perimeter, and I'm going to put 60 feet instead of perimeter. Instead of the L, I'm going to put the expression 2W minus 6. And the 2W is still there. Notice that I put instead of L, I put 2W minus 6. Instead of P, I put 60 feet. That is called substitution. Now I need to simplify. In simplifying, I don't need the parentheses on this side anymore because there's no operations to do. And I'm just going to have to remember my units. This is 60. I need to distribute 2 times 2w minus 6. 2 times 2w is 4w. 2 times negative 6 is minus 12, plus 2w. Be careful, this 2 only goes to the parentheses. It's being multiplied by the things inside the parentheses. I still can simplify some more. I would like to point out a common mistake. A lot of students are used to solving with variables on both sides of their equation, and they subtract 2w from both sides, and they think that that's correct in this case. It's not. Notice that the 4w and the 2w are on the same side of the equation, so I need to put them together. One of the things that I remind my students is that a subtraction should always be written as adding the opposite, or plus a negative. There's a reason for that. I can't switch this 12 and this 4w, and I can't do this out of order until I make it all addition. So it's truly wrong if you just simply add the 2w to the 4w, but it is correct if you do this. This is plus negative 12, it's the same thing, or minus 12, it's the same thing, but it allows me to add these out of order. Anyway, that is 6w, and plus negative 12 is the same as a minus 12. It is the same. I will use those interchangeably all the time, is equal to 60. That is simplifying. That's the step we followed. Following order of operations, we simplified. Our last step is to solve. I need to add 12 to both sides. And I get 6w is equal to 72. And I'm going to divide by 6 on both sides. And it looks like I'm running out of room here. Let me see if I can put it. Divide by 6 and divide by 6 on both sides. And I get the width is equal to 12. Remember that there are units, feet. Now, it asks me to find the width, but it also asks me to find the length. Well, if I'm not sure what to do, follow the steps that I told you. Look for an algebraic model for length, and it just happens to be right there. L equals 2w minus 6. And then I substitute. Instead of w, I'm going to put 12 feet. So L is equal to 2 times 12 feet minus 6. 24, 2 times 12 is 24, minus 6 is 18. So the length is equal to 18 feet. The last step is it asks me to find the area. And I already have a diagram. I need a formula for area. The area of a rectangle is equal to length times width. And I substitute inside parentheses. The length is 18 feet. The width is 12 feet. And if you learned your special multiplications, you'll remember that this is a case of special multiplication. So if you didn't learn special multiplication, go ahead and look it up. This happens to be 216. You can do it in your head if you know how to do the special multiplication. And that is feet squared. So I've gone through all 5 steps. Try the second example. I'm going to give you another example here. And this is a different example. This involves a triangle. See if you can draw the picture, draw the triangle. Hint, hint, it is a triangle. It happens to be, it says that 2 sides are equal, and hopefully you know about equal triangles with 2 equal sides or more. They're called isosceles triangles. So draw a triangle with 2 equal sides. Do it. It says there's a smallest side, so obviously the base angle, or the base side, excuse me, is going to be the smallest side. And you can see that it's very similar to the other problem. The perimeter of a triangle, add the sides. Side A plus side B plus side C. That's all you have to do. And follow the 5 steps and try it yourself. I'm going to probably upload the answer on a separate video because I don't want you to just follow along and watch mindlessly, and I'll upload it later. But I want you to try it yourself. Better than just trying it yourself is to teach this to someone else and teach the 5 steps without looking them up. Teach the 5 steps. Can you remember what they are? If you can't, write them down. Hopefully you all will try this, and I will see you back again sometime.